Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Friday on this joyous 6 month Grokiversary occasion. We are just getting, set up here. If everyone can, while we wait, just for more people to trickle in, press that comment bubble in the bottom right-hand corner. Go ahead and repost the room. We've got over 60 people in here so far. I've got about 9 reposts on the room, so go ahead and retweet the spaces. Make sure you get people in here throughout the space. I'll definitely want to be tagging whoever really that's in the sort of Grok camp. It's been 6 months since Elon announced Grok to the world. So it's pretty significant that we've made it this far, that the product has developed the way that it has, that it's getting the coverage that it should be getting, rightfully so. So let's get as many folks in here as we can. We got a lot to cover, for a lot of people here who are new, or some people here who just recently came into the Grok nation. There was a lot that's been missed. We were 6 months old, so it's going to be a little bit of a Grok education today. We're also just going to be, covering some of the good stuff from over the past couple of months. So, I think that'd be a good time for everyone to just sort of reset and just let's talk about what the phase 2 looks like over the next couple of months for the second half here. So, for all you guys that are new, welcome in. We've had a couple of anthems, a couple of songs that have dropped throughout the course of the past 6 months. One of our original ones was Grok Life, Grok Nation. Gonna go ahead and play that, and enjoy. Still chillin', still chillin', still campaigning. Plus a new link, I bet we gon' raid. Caesar called it first, but he won't say. The Wells waiting on the jib, but they get late. Watching out them texts, man, ring them by the neck. In other words, yeah, we got it all in place. If you keep their ass around, you probably get infected. She's smoking cheap packs, laced with Grok cake. Hit it twice and I ain't never been the same. Heard the bigger Grok cake than a large or lane. Hear me so, but I can't figure the pain. Better wait for the drum to get bloody. Cause I'm a DJ, not your buddy. Don't be hung up in the TV with the buddy. And please don't hit my DM for money. Cause we live in that life. Nation. Still chillin', still chillin', still campaigning. Yeah, we in the motion and we ain't playing. Yeah, we headed to a billion and we ain't playing. Flex big boy know about that Grok life. Crypto Doug, yeah, you know about that Grok life. Elon really know about that Grok life. And we really all about that. Still a banger to this day. That song's 5 months old, guys. But it's still all about that Grok life, Grok Nation, man. We're still here. We're still kicking. I mean, so many folks from day one are still around. It's pretty amazing. So shout out to Lex for making that song 5 months ago. And of course, we had our good friend Unknown. We underscore R underscore Buzz on X, who has helped us with some of the charity efforts that we had a couple of weeks back in Nigeria. But for those of you guys who remember, when the market took a pullback and we were at some of our lows, our community stepped up big time to help keep the morale up, and he was one of those guys, and he would sing for us in the voice chat, play his guitar, that kind of stuff, turn the video on and everything. So we always appreciated him, but he's just a really good musical artist, and he made a really good banger for us. you know um, Grok is contagious. It is very contagious. We know the deal now. Grok is spread across this space like wildfire. So for those of you who are just joining in, again, while we wait for more people to trickle in, got 75 people in the room, only 24 reposts on the spaces. Let's go ahead and repost the spaces, make sure everybody joins. But yeah, here is Grok is Contagious. Only got some more this shit is pumping. We be going through the billions now. Steady breaking our jam high. Shit is pumping. Rocky is pumping. Go spread the news around that Grok is coming with fire. Go there, friends around that Grok is coming with fire. And I knows about the Grok life. Pepe knows about the Grok life. Floki knows about the Grok life. Even she buy you love the Grok life. Yeah, love is contagious. Grok is contagious. Grok is contagious. The love is contagious. Grok is contagious. I said it before and I say it again. Grok is the best been pointing the game. We've done it before and we do it again. Take it to a billion again and again. All right, all right. One sec here. Let me just pivot. Make sure I'm still on. Can everybody hear me all right? Give me a thumbs up or some emoji reactions if you can hear me. Probably not. Okay. It's a lot of thumbs up. Thanks guys. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Much appreciated on the thumbs up there. Let's not get carried away. We got 81 folks in. I think we have a good quorum here to start. Welcome in, everyone. Happy Grokiversary. 6 months, 6 months of straight rocking. For a lot of people who were around 6 months ago, it was definitely an interesting time for an announcement for a product as monumental as Grok to be announced, but also for a token to be launched on the Ethereum blockchain. For those of you that are just joining in, as always, we are Grok Project. We are fully decentralized token on the Ethereum blockchain. We are meme enthusiasts. We are AI enthusiasts. We're Elon enthusiasts, but we have no affiliation to Elon Musk, XAI, Tesla, SpaceX, or any subsidiary of Elon and his brand. But again, we are enthusiasts. We are fans. Hence, the name for our main accounts. X account, it's a project, it's a parody, right? Again, enthusiasts. So we came together under the umbrella to, help promote and memify what Grok is. And for those of you who don't understand sort of why and where Grok came from, now's a good time to take things back to ground zero. Elon Musk was originally an advisor for OpenAI. OpenAI's original intended goal, and for those of you that don't know, OpenAI is the company that owns ChatGPT. Um, and OpenAI was supposed to be an open source, nonprofit organization that was dedicated to advancing artificial intelligence in a way that was in support of humanity. So Elon was advising these folks for several years before ultimately, I think in 2018, 2019, he had to walk away because they had said that they will not be open source, meaning, again, we can't see what's underneath the hood of their AI products, right?
And obviously, if we're talking about something where people are concerned about its impact on humanity and whether or not AI can destroy civilization and things like that, will it take over, right? We need to know the tech that's sort of happening in the background. And so Elon was not a fan of the fact that they wanted to go for profit, and nor was he a fan of the fact that they were no longer going to be open sourced. So he stepped away, and of course, at some point in 2022, ends up being sort of forced into acquiring Twitter at the time. And he's thinking about ways to enhance and further his vision of having this sort of central application that is the everything app, and that's was one of the reasons he was interested in acquiring X. Right, he wanted this to be the platform that is really the everything app, right? They're having X payments, they're going to have X dating, and now they have this artificial intelligence component, X business, X everything, right? For those of you that don't know, again, a little bit of additional background. Elon is very much interested in um, you know, getting communication between here and Mars, right? And there was something specific about old Twitter in respect to how it transmits messages, 140 characters or less, and it could do that between Earth and Mars. And so that's one of the reasons he was interested in acquiring this platform to begin with. So now we're talking about his desire and need for open source AI, and his desire and need to have some sort of centralized vehicle that can basically support civilization on Mars. So now we're talking about artificial intelligence, and we're talking about a product like Grok that's supposed to be on the side of humanity. You're talking about major significance in terms of the tech. 19 years ago, no one would have thought that Elon would have been capable of launching reusable rockets into space. It's something that he's tested and done several times now with Starship. It's actually pretty amazing. So, again, a person that has this level of expertise, this level of histories of success, backing a product, of course, it's going to, generate interest from people in this space. So now, everyone knew that Elon had started a separate company from X. It's called XAI. That's his AI company. And, we knew he was working on something. We just didn't know what. So around November 2nd, November 1st, he went to the UK to meet with the prime minister, and they did a forum on artificial intelligence and the importance of ethics around that. And that weekend, that Friday, 10:30 Eastern, about the time given the daylight savings, it was around 2:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning in UTC. He announces Grok, right? And he does it in the most hysterical way. For those of you that have used ChatGPT before, I'm sure you're aware that it does not allow you to ask it certain questions. It will not respond to certain prompts just because the system's a little bit woke, right? He was concerned, with OpenAI's developers as well, and the people who were contributing money from the venture capital perspective, that they are what's known as extinctionists. Extinctionists are people who believe that the Earth is a better place without humans on it. So now you have those folks who are funding OpenAI and developing and building there. And we have what Elon's trying to do again, and that's AI on the side of humanity. But their tools and their products, again, it's informed largely by one particular political ideology. And we don't need AI that's choosing sides because, the side that you may be okay with today, maybe that's not the side that you're going to be on tomorrow, right? And if that's not the goal and responsibility and job of AI. So Elon announces Grok to the world in the most hysterical way. Let me get that pinned here. Uh, so that should be up there in the top. This was early Grok. Uh, this is the early Grok UI here. So Elon says XAI's Grok system is designed to have a little humor in its responses. So he was able to get the recipe for a certain powdery substance, illicit powdery substance out of Grok. And this is how he introduces Grok to the world. So, of course, the people in Deegan land, the people in meme coin land fucking love this instantly. I was like, this is great. So fucking memeable. That means you can use AI now to ask funny shit, to make good memes, whatever else, and you're going to be able to get the responses you need to get the sort of meme component of a a meme token. And so that's why that was one of the original reasons that I think this really sat well with the space. First of all, it's Elon. We know in the meme coin land how significant Elon's impact and contributions have been to crypto, right? Or at least until recognition of meme coins. The first time he mentions Dogecoin is in 2019, where he says his favorite crypto is Dogecoin. That's 2019, guys. So consider the fact that a lot of people were talking about what he was doing in 2021. I mean, he was a part of like at the time it wasn't called Spaces, it was another platform called Clubhouse, where he was hosting these conversations around Doge. He was posting memes and he was posting polls and things like that for literally over a year and a half. And then obviously it brought a lot of eyes, ears, and attention to what the heck a meme token or meme coin is. So now you have, Elon being who he is in respect to crypto. You have Elon being and who he is in respect to the X platform. He's the most followed man on the planet. He's 180 million followers, right? And then also additionally, he just happens to be a very, very successful businessman. So now you couple all of those things with the fact that Grok is unhinged, has a fun mode, can say the gamut of things, right? And we know that this is the perfect powder keg for a successful meme token. And we know that in respect to businesses, that as Elon has stated in the past before, he who controls the meme controls the world, right? So we know that on the meme component and the meme side of things, that we could actually bring value to the product of Grok. We could actually bring value to XAI. We can help with name recognition and help others from a community perspective get onboarded to the application. So absolute tremendous opportunity. So we launched a lot of the folks in the community that were there within the first few minutes and hours ended up popping up and becoming community leaders, like myself. The great thing about it was the names and faces that you saw associated with this particular meme token is not the names and faces that you typically would see in the space, nor have you seen them really associated with anything else. So immediately there were a lot of people that started to sort of pop up and that would speak and that were helping to push this project that no one really heard of before. And that is a truly sort of community driven effort. And because this was launched at a Friday night in the weird market space that we were in, don't forget, we were supposed to have a Pumptober that never happened. Tokens were struggling to get to the tens of millions. It just wasn't happening. And so now this launches on a Friday night when everyone's sleeping, the world's asleep. It gave regular people opportunities to sort of scale in positions and understand what's going on. And there's obviously a lot of copycats, a lot of other people trying to compete for namesake and things like that. But this particular community stood out from minute one, hour one, and just sort of took the space by storm. And it was absolutely incredible to see people step up and figure out what can we do from an imaging and branding perspective. You might see some old relics of what the avatar used to look like 6 months ago. We shuffled through a Groot character. We had like a metallic Groot character. We had a different bot at one point until we finally sort of settled on the imaging and branding that we have now. But just so everyone's aware, again, we have to figure out how do we come together on a unified front and break away from all the other people and be the number one Grok that everyone's looking at. And we stood that up to that challenge. Again, this is community token, of course. In the initial stages, the dev and founder was very, very active. Done series of buybacks, burned over $3 million of the token, burned all the liquidity, helped pay for tier one centralized exchange listings. But now Groktoshi is sort of faded away, right? And this is a completely community driven effort. But we are grateful for the contributions of all, whether it's big, large, or small, from the very beginning. We were able to eventually come together to figure out what our branding was going to look like. And so now we reached a critical point. We had to get a new X account. And what happens is instead of going with just the Grok Fun Mode logo, right, which is the slash with the sort of internet meme pixelated glasses, we said let's actually just go with our avatar that we built and created. Now, the Fun Mode logo is still up for debate. Again, as someone who was here minute one, hour one, that likely came from our community, the current Grok at Grok X accounts image. But because it's not actually something that is verifiable to this degree now, 6 months later, we don't actually talk about that. So that's why we use the avatar that we have. But it's still significant that there is even a question about, sort of who created that branding an image. But now we have our own Grok avatar. We have, a lot of recognition from the space. So everyone understands that this particular Grok is the go-to Grok. Um, and what happens? Well, about 5 or 6 weeks in, we get our first Elon not like we get he liked several of our posts throughout the month of November, but this was the first time that we saw Elon actually post. Um, a Grok meme. So that was pretty significant. He took our one of our memes that one of our community members rated him with. It was Grok sitting on the throne, and he posted that. So if this was any other project, any other token, any other community, everyone would have been screaming up and down, this is the next Doge, this is the next Doge. It would have been pandemonium. And of course, there was pandemonium because it sort of showed that immediate recognition that, hey, they're seeing your contributions and value add to what they are trying to advance. So, of course, it was a nice sort of gesture from Elon himself. Again, this is the most followed man on the planet. You could not pay these people enough money to do those types of things. So when they do that, go out of their way to post your meme or to like your post or whatever else, understand that that's a very high sort of recognition award for the efforts that you're doing to contribute to the conversations around Grok. So we ended up, there were days where we averaged 60 to 80 million dollars of decentralized volume alone. We were in the top 60 in terms of overall volume of all cryptos at one point, averaging $100 million of volume, etc. And we ended up cracking that 202 million all-time high mark when no other tokens were really doing it. So to be quite honest, Grok really started a meme coin revolution, believe it or not, on Solana. There was no liquidity to be found in the meme coin space because we absorbed all of it. So it forced people off of Ethereum onto an entirely different blockchain to find liquidity. And that was the most amazing thing because that just goes to show how much um, Grok was in control of the space at the time. So, of course, you're going to go through your growing periods. You're going to go through your challenges. You're going to go through how do we continue to differentiate ourselves and be a mainstay in this space. And we had that. We had our period of growth, and sometimes growth looks like people only measure growth as upward movement on a chart, but growth is also actually maturity, right? How mature is your group? How mature is the evolution of what you're trying to accomplish, right? Are you gaining more followers on X? Do you have more dedicated holders who are willing to continue to advance their skill sets and go the extra mile? And we know we've had folks here who never made a meme in their life, who've never used AI tools in their life, that have completely improved their skill sets over the course of the past few weeks and months. Using tools to help generate images and do all sorts of things, animations and things like that. It's impossible to shout everyone out, but obviously, all the folks here, Hannah, Boston Grotket, Narcissus, Nikita, everyone has contributed so much. Don Graclione, it's just been absolutely mesmerizing to see what we have here, and of course. More amazingly, that one of the things that I love is that look, in order to get access to Grok currently, you need to be an X Premium subscriber. Originally, it was X Premium Plus, but we had folks here who were going out of their way to pay the $22 a month US to have access to Grok, right? And more importantly, that also gives you the blue check, as CCTV Idiots, who's on right now, has been an absolute chat and support. Oftentimes, reminding people get the blue check, get access to Grok, that kind of stuff, and that's super important because it helps with our recognition, right? And we could see here for spaces for a community-driven token, if you just scroll through all the people who are here right now currently in space, there's so many blue checks. So when we post, when we raid, when we comment, we get a lot of eyes on us. But also from a bottom line perspective, think about this. You are supporting X, as Elon often says, by being an X Premium or X Premium Plus subscriber. right? So now we're contributing not just to advancing the name of Grok, marketing it, memifying it, but now we're also contributing to the actual bottom line of X because we are putting money directly in their pocket. So, of course, these things are going to get the recognition. So we have this period of retracement, all sorts of stuff. You know, the market pulls back after the ETF approval and announcement, as we know. But then now Elon says there's something else next for Grok, right? And we know that to be Grok 1.5. Now, that was when more people started to take recognition. We had AMA with HTX, you know, obviously a large tier one centralized exchange. They've been great supporters of Grok. I mean, when have you ever seen a tier one exchange rating underneath Elon Musk's post and other major accounts posts? I mean, they were rating on behalf of Grok, right? So this is an entity that wants to see Grok be successful, wants to see Grok win because they know ultimately that a win for Grok is a win for the space. Now, with tech, things happen. Certain things happen in development, certain things happen around you. And that was in February when Elon first mentioned that, you know, um, that Grok 1.5 was coming out. Now, what ends up happening? Gemini and there was another brand as well, another AI product, decided that they wanted to front run the Grok 1.5 release, and they released their product prematurely. Now, when we talk about woke GPT, right, this term has been thrown out a lot. Woke GPT is basically an AI that is so programmed from its language model that instead of looking at truths, instead of searching for truth, it is biased to consider sort of like woke ideology first. And what do we mean by that? Well, Gemini puts out their product and people are asking for, hey, you know, you show me, it was an image generation tool that they had. And they're asking it, hey, show me a picture of a Chinese emperor from the year 1200. And rather than producing what would look like someone from, you know, that era in that area, it was producing an African king, you know, and vice versa, right? It just couldn't help itself because it can't recognize realities. And, you know, everyone just wants to know, why is this a thing? Why is this happening? Right. And so now Elon is pissed because they tried to front run his Grok 1.5 release. And that's when he goes scorched earth. That's when we start to see him roasting the Sam Altmans, roasting whatever else. And our group and our community took a different approach at that point. We realized, you know, there's a lot of things that we in DeFi are in support of, right? We like transparency, we like free speech here. We don't like government overreach, right? And so now, as we're meming thing, it's not just about Grok being in a meme. Now it's a more of a how do we memify things that sort of people on X care about, people in DeFi care about, but bake in sort of the Grok avatar and the Grok nomenclature. And that's what we started to do. And as soon as we started to do that, what happens, right? Elon replied to two of my posts with some laughing emojis. Um, Elon has liked, you know, probably another 10 or 11 posts since February from this community. I can't even keep count anymore. You know, he's saved some photos from certain folks. And it's just been an absolute whirlwind of appreciation and recognition because we are understanding the assignment. That's what this community is so good at. They're able to see, you know, where the sort of world is shifting to, where the sort of paradigm is shifting to on X and in life, and you know, bake that in and make it relevant to Grok. And we always shift. We saw what happened with the Brazilian, what happened in Brazil. They're trying to censor free speech. We start memifying that. They did the same thing in Australia. We start memifying that, right? We keep finding ways to sort of throw Grok in there. Why? Because Grok is funny and Grok is pro humanity. Grok is pro free speech, and it's able to be a truth seeking AI. And these are things that a lot of people can get behind. So our approach has been really, really sound. It's allowed us to sort of advance to where we've gotten to. We know now that not only is Grok 1.5 very, very imminent, but we know that there's other things that are coming with that. Grok unhinged mode, that even just sounds like it's ready for crypto. Unhinged. How many times have you said something, you've seen something in this space, and you're like, hey, that's unhinged, right? It is like just out of the sort of Deegan playbook 101 to be unhinged. And so when we're talking about potentially having image generation tools that will be powered by Grok and it has an unhinged version, imagine the meme factor, guys. It's going to be absolutely out of this world. People aren't understanding the significance enough. We know Grok analysis is coming, right? The ability for someone to be in a thread and you see they have those long threads, or someone does a long form post and then you have Grok being able to compress that and give you a condensed version, right? So we have all of these things that are in the pipeline that are going to give further name recognition. And who's here talking about it? Who's here pushing it? Who's here memifying it? This community. So ultimately, when you talk about getting eyes on you, on your project, on your community, we're going to be controlling a lot of that via us being out in front and center. So massive. We know that Grok is going to be in Teslas as a voice assistant. Imagine you're driving and you say, "Hey Grok," and then Grok pops up on your display screen, and who knows what the avatar imaging could be when that happens, right? So at the end of the day, sometimes you got to use your imagination a little bit, but some of this stuff is so straightforward, right? Because it's about the attention economy, right? That's what controls so much of this space and so much of the world. We are an attention-based economy, attention-based world. We know, headlines always change, right? Everyone's like, oh, well, this is happening in the world right now, and everyone's focusing on that. But what happens when that headline changes? Well, now no one's paying attention to the other thing anymore, right? So, in crypto and DeFi, they'll say, well, it's anime season. So all the anime tokens start doing well. It's altcoin season, all the altcoins. Guys, it's going to be AI season for the next several years, not just in DeFi, but in the real world, right? This is the most significant piece of technological advancement in civilization's history. And to have somebody like Elon Musk that's powering an AI on the side of humanity and we're memifying it, this is absolutely massive. So the AI narrative will always be there. And then, of course, when that person and when that group start talking specifically about Grok and they're pushing out all these changes that we're talking about, the attention based economy brings attention and eyes back to Grok project, guys. So understand that all of these pushes that are going to come soon are going to be massive. All of you guys are very familiar with Midjourney. We now know that XAI is closing out a partnership with Midjourney. So now think about the image generation capability, right? Um, for those of you, again, who are wondering about Grok 1.5, keep in mind that there are two ways to access Grok right now. Most people do not have access to the primary way. Grok is a standalone application currently, right? We don't have access to that. Only the early beta users do. They currently are running 1.5. We know that Elon is getting close to finishing Grok 2. Grok 2 is going to be multimodal. Go do a deep dive on what that means, but essentially it will be able to interpret voice and images. So now those people who have access to the early beta program will get access to Grok 2. And guess what's going to happen? 1.5 will roll out here. And that's probably how they're going to keep pushing out changes, where the beta group gets access first to the newest version, and then they push out the second version to the people on the X platform. So understand that that's coming soon. Elon said they should be done with Grok 2 by May. And then I'm assuming like, at some point before that, that release will come here. But that will be absolutely massive once we get additional changes and updates to Grok. It hasn't updated in the 6 months that it's been around. They make small surface level UI changes, and there's certain behaviors on Grok that have gotten more consistent and clean, but it hasn't updated. So now imagine when we actually get a version update. Imagine when the product is even more, just recognizable. It's the benefits are going to be, just absolutely otherworldly. Keep in mind, there are people in the EU who do not have access to Grok yet. Why? Well, we know that they just passed a set of AI regulations. So now there's certain things that need to get approved before you can get access. Elon had said several weeks ago they're waiting on approval. So, EU can be particularly slow with things, guys. We know that, right? So, if Elon's talking end of March, that he's waiting on EU approval, we know it can take some time. But these things are going to come, and it has always been from the beginning with Grok divine timing, right? Everything has happened in a way where it was meant to happen the way that it was supposed to happen, and it puts us in the position to be the most successful and the strongest that we can be, right? And so now we're looking at the potentiality of having a new product going into meme coin summer, BTC having already happened. We have the pullback, we have the FUD everywhere in the market. You know, the reality is, we're in that range now where it's like this is the last opportunities for people to start to enter before we start to hit peak bull, right? But we know there's a meme coin summer coming, an altcoin summer, a DeFi summer. So to have these things leading into that or around the same time will just help propel us even further and even stronger. And more importantly, it'll be sustained growth, sustained strength over time rather than, 50%, 60% price increase, 30% pullback. There's going to come the time where everyone's jaws are just dropped, but what you're looking at is the byproduct and the direct results of the hard work that everyone here has been putting in over the course of the past 6 months. We started out and we were in voice chat and spaces. Literally, it felt like 24/7. Right. That was the toughest 6, 7 weeks I've ever had to go through, but, we were putting in the times and, those times were good, but we evolve, right? People keep bringing things. I'm like, look, man, we are 6 months old. You can't talk about something that only existed for 4 or 5 weeks, right? There's a lot of people here who have stepped up in a very big and very strong way, whether it be monetarily, whether it be time wise, whether it be creativity, right? And we go through evolutions, we go through different periods of times, and we figure out how do we be the most successful sustainably, and be future proofed. Ultimately, that's what this is about. You know, um, for some of us, we may not be around in Grok in 2026 or anything like that. But market pulls back, whatever else, you go through the next bull cycle. It's one of those tokens that will still be here after the market pulls back at the end of the peak bull. And that's what makes me the most excited is that we are here directly a part of something, and most of us are all in, and we'll be here through the entire cycle, and we'll be able to see and say that we saw something and helped create something and move it from end to end to the best that it could be, and we leave it in a better position for the next group of people who want to take it and make it their own. That's when you know that you've created something successful. That's when you know that you've been a part of something monumental. Is that there are sub communities that are forming to talk about the token. There are sub communities forming to create additional utilities, and to create additional meaning to what this project has sort of stood for. But we're here to create the foundation. We're here to create sustainable growth. We're here to not tarnish the name, and the legacy of what Grok could be. It's super important that we continue to march forward, under the same auspices that we have, that we don't necessarily, you know, uh, we're not going to be, too sort of consistent to the degree of which, one of my favorite quotes is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He says, the foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of feeble mind and little patriots. And literally what it means is just that, you want to stay on brand. You very much want to be, recognizable, but you do have to adapt. And that's what's been so great about this community, right? Is that we do adapt, and that's how you'll be successful, not just in crypto, but in the world. Your ability to adapt, to things around you, to not be defined by your circumstances, but to understand them, ultimately is what's going to allow us to get to that next level. So, just shout out to everyone here. We have so much to look forward to over the next few weeks, over the next few months. I think ultimately the strength, the chart right now, has sort of spoke volumes to, you know, just everything that we've done so far. Um, we are in a position now. Obviously, this is the 6 month, literally 6 months to the day. November 3rd is when he announced it. It's now May 3rd, in in most parts of the world. So we did the spaces early intentionally. We have some experiences with these things before. So we just wanted to get the spaces out of the way. Who knows what can happen? Our goal today, make as many people aware, on XAI, Elon, whatever, make them aware, as I'm sure they are, that it is the 6 month Grokiversary, right? So we need it, all you guys, to continue to hit the memes hard. When Elon posts, we reply as hard as we can. We make it known as loud and clear as we can. Do your own standalone posts. We'll raid them in the chat, and that's going to ultimately get us, the name recognition that we need today. Going into a very strong weekend, ETH and BTC seem to be cooperating a little bit. It's always good to go into the weekend green, especially when you have things that are coming up. We should have an announcement today. Let me see here. Potentially, yeah, we'll see. But there's a lot. There's other stuff that we have coming. But yeah, that is sort of where we are right now. That's how we got here, right? And everyone here has been an absolute Chad. So um, definitely want this to be more of a now for the community, anyone in the community to come up, sort of just talk a little bit about your experience with Grok, what you're looking forward to, just some funny memories, moments, whatever. We definitely want people to request to come up and sort of speak, but we got good karma here on stage, aka Cryptomaniac in Telegram. This man, he loves DeFi. we can certainly say that he loves DeFi. What's going on, man? I'm not sure if you're able to speak right now, Maniac. He's probably driving or something. But go ahead,
Yeah,
unmute yourself if
yeah,
you're still
yeah.
muted.
Hey, we got to go back. Yeah, yeah. I hear you, man. You always saying a lot, man. Damn, you just spoke nonstop for.
Looks like you're unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Uh, Damn. Can you hear me now?
Might be the headphones. If not, just drop and then come back up. Um, we know his headphones. It's a very interesting mic, a very interesting mic. But let's see. All right. Oh, we got Zach. 1 second. All right, Zach, what's going on, man?
It's only you can't hear him.
Oh, I couldn't hear him.
Yeah, we could hear him.
Ah,
Good karma.
it was me.
Yeah, what's
Uh,
up? What's up, bro? Gro Grokiversary. Okay, 6 months. That's nice. We made it.
Yes, sir.
We didn't die like they thought.
The naysayers, the fudders. Zach,
Yeah,
how much fighting of FUD did you have to do over the course of the past 6 months?
bro, man, bro. Like I can't even speak to my mom without her fudding me right now. Even I see FUD in my mom speaking, man. I see it everywhere now. Black, Black TG traumatized me.
Yeah, it, it, it's, it's
No,
it's true though, man. It was rough, but that's how we know, man. When you're a community token getting attacked, for doing nothing, like we're just
no, no, bro. If nobody attacks you, you are irrelevant, my friend.
right. Oh,
That's it.
that's it. So, all right, Maniac, man. Sorry about that. Apparently, it was just me that couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, man. You always saying a mouthful, man. It's always hard to come behind you. You know, you always say it all. There's nothing left to say. Shit. But I do want to say, congratulations for the Grokiversary. For those that've been here from day one, and for new people that's became aboard. It's a great milestone to reach. Especially with all the turmoil, all the ups and downs that the project has been through. So it's really quite amazing, and it's exciting too to see how quick we done got here. Because just yesterday it seemed like it was November. So congratulations to everybody that made it, and you see the project for what it is and the potential, and to have conviction in what you hold. I mean, that's always important. Because if you know what's gonna or what's the potential to come of this cycle, in spite of the current market conditions and all the FUD and attacks against crypto. I mean, you holding your ground, you believing in this shit, and holding your ground. That's what it's all about. And yeah, like Nuke said, a very stringent DeFi enthusiast. enthusiast. Yeah, I'm really strong about it because just crypto in general. People got to understand the potential of what this asset class can do for people, and that's what makes me more excited and why I'm so adamant about it because it definitely is a ticket to financial freedom. If people really gotta see it and believe and understand that. So I'm not gonna. No, I ain't got too much to say. He was like Nuke always kills it. He drops the mic every fucking time. So it's it's not much more to say. But congratulations. You know, we gonna keep on grokking and we gonna keep on rocking. Rock life. Let's go, baby.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, that's the one thing that separates this community from so many others is that we care about the DeFi component. That's something that we talk about often in the voice chats every day. We're not just there moon boying in the chat and TG and Telegram, where we're just there talking about Grok to the moon and Elon's going to save us. We're there talking about the developments. We have banks, regional banks that are collapsing around the country. We have FDIC at different time periods not being able to pay back the people that they said they'd be able to. We're talking about sort of some of the psyops that we see and some of the questionable activities of world leaders and power brokers and market makers, and so we're trying to stay up to date and current, not just on AI and all things Grok, but all things DeFi. As Maniac, you often say it, know what you hold. And so it's not just Grok that you got to know what you hold, but it's crypto in general. So, um, but hey, Okta, how's it going?
Hey everyone, congratulations for making this far. Every person who is here, it feels like a family now when you have been with each other so long every day, in TG and doing grade X. It's just amazing. And the other thing is, yeah, it you die for this kind of token, for this kind of community to have and the, it, it's been after like Floki, there was something lacking, but Grok community, it's absolutely amazing. What else can you ask from crypto? So you want to invest in this kind of project where it's all about community in meme coins. I just can't tell you guys enough. And the community we have right now, and the people we have, we are so blessed to have you, Nuke. You cover you don't left anything on the table to say, which we can say about Grok. So you cover all the thing. Then sometime I'm amazed, do you have sticky notes on your just want to see your desk? How do you do that? It's amazing to have you and everyone who is contributing and working hard. Really blessed to invest this kind of opportunity. Yeah, life changing opportunity in front of everyone and people who we will see haters gonna say things, but we are moving forward, and here we are after 6 months, very very strong.
Yeah, absolutely, Okta. And definitely, yeah. After Floki, I mean, Floki was able to do what it did after the market pulled back and crashed, and everyone saw the power of an Elon narrative in the midst of a bear market. So imagine, with something as interesting as Elon's dog name, imagine that even though the market was super red, it was able to do that, what the impact of having that sort of alignment is, and we got a lot of folks from Floki here, obviously. Petabyte has been fucking an absolute, Chad and Grok defender, since the beginning and early stages, and we've appreciated everything that he's done so far, and definitely has lent, his expertise and just like his network and resources to help push this forward. And so when we see people that are still bullish on Grok, every day, several times a day, when they could be doing other things, we just got to, shout out to the folks that are doing that. We just had CCTV idiots on here, 1.3 million real followers, a complete normie account who's dedicating his platform to a meme token. You know, like that's huge. Again, you can't pay for these sort of things.
Absolutely. And this is the beautiful thing about Grok. It's not like a insider job, not like your typical influencers pumping the coin and dumping on you. It's just like beautiful opportunity. It's like equal. Right now we have like so many consolidations, so many dips. So I don't think so. At this point in time, like our wallet distribution is so beautiful. Everything is like so perfect about this project, on chain, and it's pure organic. Yeah, so it's super proud to be part of this community and this token.
Absolutely. Zach, you had your hand raised. What's going on?
Yeah, just wanted to add about Petabyte and CCTV idiots. It's like it's like those guys, just by not going with the wind, they gained my respect. Because like those guys, like Petabytes has 70,000, and the other ones have like 3 million. You know, it's so hard when you have, like, you are an influencer and you have like a platform, and you would be like the only influencer speaking good about Grok when everybody was like trying to lynch us. So they never changed. They could just stop, at least not speak in after against Grok or with Grok. Just stop. Just be neutral. But no, they kept on going and sharing that it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. So they didn't go with the wind with all the other influencers, with the Solana thing. When it was the period when Solana memes started, and they stood by us when we were like 18, went to 18 million. So everybody who was with us, like, in the dump, he deserves our pump, bro. I like it.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
like it. When I see Okta, I didn't know Okta is still here. I heard her voice. I recognized her. That's very. I'm very happy that some people that like really grinded with us are still here, enjoying and up on their investments, and I hope we will do some more X's after X's, man.
Yeah, for sure. And we have obviously. It's like I see everyone every day. More importantly, I see everybody on X every day. Like in depending on what batches people are working in, but I'll see some people come alive between 2 to 5 o'clock in the morning sometimes, or whatever it is, and people pop into the voice chat. And it's just everyone now is in a different sort of mode when it comes to Grok, right? Like I if I love the buy bot in the chat, but sometimes I just wish it wasn't there because I don't necessarily want to see it. So sometimes I even blur it out because we're all just in a different space. Like I'm just calm. I'm just extremely calm. I know what's coming. I know you don't have to handhold it every day. If everyone's got the ability to go live a little bit of a life. It's been 6 months. So everybody find the balance that's going to allow you to have the strength over the next 6 months, over the next 9 months, whatever, how long you're going to be here part of this Grok journey, to really gas the jets when it's needed. There will come the time where it's like we will be back on that 24/7 grind. Not that we're not doing that now, but we know when to leave some in the reserves so that we don't destroy ourselves. It's super important to take care of yourselves.
Yeah, like everyone knows here, it's a marathon, not sprint. So I really like the energy, because it's even we were at down at 15 million, people were stepping up, and when we were like at 200 million, it the price and chart doesn't like impact our spirit with the grind of Grok. So I just love that, and thank you so much for Petabyte and CCTV idiots. Like I know CCTV because I have been involved with CCTV idiot. He was like phenomenal with the rating game on X. I know when he, like, after his involvement, our rating game was definitely went to the another level, which was like spectacular. So thank you so much for who like everyone who have made this far with. And as I always said, this is an epic story in the making. And Zach was saying, yeah, everyone, congratulations again who have made this, and don't leave the story in the middle. We have to see a beautiful ending, and there will be a happy ending, I know, in my heart.
There you go. Don't leave the story in the middle. That's unfortunately the theme for this space sometimes, right? I mean, 2020 was the same thing. There was a market crash because of COVID, and people saw opportunities of a lifetime to buy up those areas, and there was halving, you know and then certain people saw certain profits that they could make in the summertime and things like that, and they exited. They're like, this is the top. Right? Even though we know crypto works in a particular cycle and has particular patterns, it's been very measured so far. People exited because of FUD, because China's banning Bitcoin for the 15,000th time. Now this market has some of the greatest FUD that we've ever seen. I mean, the rockets that they're launching everywhere. The banks are closing. Interest rates are extremely high. There's so much FUD everywhere. Wars, proxy wars popping up left, right, center. Um, so many reasons to say, I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to get out of this. But it's actually even more reason to pay attention to this space because, one, we know that in its true form, crypto can be looked at as a hedge against what's going on in the real world. Right. And, at some point, during whatever cycle, we will decouple. But the other side of that is that we know these are, again, the acts of market makers and people who want to see retracements in the market. And they're getting the entries they want. They want your Bitcoin for cheap. They want your Grok tokens for cheap, right? And so it's important, as Akta said, to not leave the story in the middle, to continue to do research, look at the broader macro pictures, and say, where are we in the thick of those things? Um, Everybody should have, not financial advice, but an investment thesis where when you're buying into things, you're saying, what are the drivers for me to be here? What are my catalysts that I'm looking for? Where are the opportunities for me to take profits and things like that? And you measure where you are not by the current market cap, but by whether your initial investment thesis is still true. And that's what's super important, is that are the things true today, that they were true in the beginning when you first bought into this? And for me, that has been the case. It's only evolved. It's only gotten stronger as we go. Regardless of what happens, it's only gotten stronger. We have all-time high holders right now, even though we're at 80 something million market cap, and our all-time high is 200 million market cap. That's the distribution getting better. That's the foundation getting stronger. So that's something that you have to consider. And then the last piece on that, before McFly, I let you go, is just, when we talk about distribution, make sure you do your research on chain. Understand the first 10 wallets, all of them are, a lot of them are centralized exchanges. So we know those aren't actual holders. It's just the exchange holding the tokens and supply. And then there's a couple of wallets that, that can't make trades or whatever. So really, there's no wallet even close to 1% that holds 1% of the supply. So it actually is a much greater distribution than many people give credit for to Grok. And that's why we're seeing some of the holder counts go up the way that they are, the price being very stabilized, and there's not a group of players or a couple of people who own too much supply. But what's going on, McFly?
All right, yeah. Thanks for having me. I want to say that and let me speak. So I'm pretty new to crypto. I don't know crypto, much at all. I'm I'm much more of a trader when it comes to options in the stock market. But I've been looking. That being said, I've been looking for something with like a max supply. So I've been looking through the crypto market, and I don't want something that has like an unlimited supply like Dogecoin or anything, because I don't want to talk bad about crypto here. That's the last thing I'll do. But I'm looking for something that, if it were to get popular, I wanted to have a limited supply, like Bitcoin, because I believe that's why that got as big as it did. One, because of the utility for payments and exchange of value, and the limited supply. So that being said, when I found I'm pretty sure I probably seen it through Elon, and I was like, whoa. Now I see it's a top 500 coin. It's only 6 months old. So basically, my point is like this one just stuck out way above the others. And I believe it will continue to gain popularity. And look at Dogecoin. It had unlimited supply. Unlimited. It's literally like unlimited. And it still hit 76 cents with enough hype from Elon. Now you have here a project that is connected directly to Elon. He hasn't endorsed it directly, but everyone knows. I mean, look at it. It's top 500. And like you're saying, the price is stabilizing. The picture is clear. Every time, like last time we posted a meme, it pumped like what, 50%? Like he's going to post more memes. They're not making any more Grok. And I just see this price. The limit is like if it gets as popular as Doge, there's only 6.9 billion. And this I don't see why can't it hit a
Yeah,
dollar? I don't see why
and
it can't.
definitely not shame at all to crypto at all. We know that there's a lot of tokens out there that have you know quadrillion supply. Doge is quite like the U.S. government in that it mints tokens daily. It's a part of sort of the function, and actually fits well for its branding, what it's trying to solve or whatever. But you're right. It's actually, it also points to a better point because we have this low and limited supply, right? Oftentimes you have tokens where the actual price of the token is like 0.00000009. And it's like you can't even say the price out loud, right? But now at Grok, with Grok right now, we're sitting at a penny. When Doge was at a penny, it was already at $1 billion market cap. So when people were saying Doge is going to go to a dollar, the market at that time was like, that's ridiculous. It's not going to go to a dollar because that means it's going to go to $100 billion market cap valuation. It can't happen. And so many people faded Doge because the crypto people knew that that's a very high market cap and they walked away. And no other meme coin had ever done that before. Doge is like the original meme coin, right? So now what happens? Normies come in and they say, I like the price. They weren't even paying attention to market cap. They were like, I like the price. So what happens? One of your friends puts in $5,000 into Doge at a penny. It hits 10 cents, 10 billion market cap valuation. They have 50K. They're telling their friends, yo, you got to buy this. And then all of a sudden it does this march from 10 cents to 76 cents. Absolutely incredible. No one ever seen that before. Now with Grok, we're at a penny right now. But we are not where Doge was. Doge was at uh, $1 billion market cap at a penny. We are at 80 million market cap, right? So whether you're a crypto person who understands the importance of valuation, or you're a normie, you're going to like the price structure where it's like there's the march to 10 cents, there's the march to 40 cents, 50 cents, a dollar. And then a dollar, it'll be a $6.6 billion market cap evaluation. We know that even during this bear cycle, we saw coins like Dog with Hat hit 5 billion, Pepe at 3.3, Floki just ran up to 1.5 again. Now imagine when additional inflow of capital comes in, it's going to be absolute madness, and we'll actually be in a meme coin cycle, meme coin run, and Grok is such a strong narrative. Go ahead, Octa.
So when we like talk about Grok as a meme coin and then actual Grok project, so people are fading both. So when we talk about crypto, obviously people are still fading Grok, but in actual world, I was part of a conference in Las Vegas last month. So it was all about data, a big multi-billion company. They were holding a big conference where I think 5,000 people were part of. And I was part of like so many roundtable discussions, which were the topic was around ethics and AI. And I was like on lunchtime, got a chance to talk with Kara Swisher. She's a big name in for New York Times, and they were all talking about Chat GPT, Cloud, Gemini, and other. And I asked why not Grok, and you know what was their answer? Oh, Grok is a, billionaire toy. It means nothing in actual. Data or software, there is no place for that software. They think it's not gonna made it to that far where there will be actual utility or actual application will be integrated in the multi-billion companies. And I was thinking that okay, I need to double down on my position even Grok meme token and to learn about, because it's not all about that. They were not even, Grok was not even the part of the discussion. So That's how early we are. And what do you guys think? Will, like, Elon Musk personally, um he loves competition, and when people like fade him, and people always have faded him like that. So there is a like underdog story going on with actual Grok product, and I will love to see that where he takes it, where everyone, I think my belief is it will be part of every application, everything will be powered by Grok at one point in time. But saying that, oh, it's a billionaire toy, it doesn't make sense to me.
1,000%. I mean, when you look at, you know, uh, what Grok's capabilities are in terms of its ability to do real time, there's no GPTs that are currently doing that. This is such beta um, product right now. Right now, Sam Altman just recently said, GPT-4, which is what 1.5 will be in competition with, will be the sort of the last time you have to sort of use sort of like undervalued AI products. Like these things are just going to get so much better. But because um, we have the unique ability with Grok to have access to real time data and sentiment, that has a leg up over the rest of the competition. And I think ultimately that's what's going to play to the benefit of Grok. Also, obviously, it's a little bit unbiased, even if sometimes it gives you a response. And again, this is the beta version. You can challenge it a little bit, and it will look for additional information to see, like if it was a fact, in fact, an error, just like the rest of the products will. But they usually stay close to whatever it is that they said that was erroneous. So yeah, definitely the fact that people are fading the tool itself and giving you responses like that, Okta, are just a little bit laughable. Um, and don't forget, guys, they just opened up a $6 billion funding round for XAI at an $18 billion market cap valuation. So that is pretty significant as well, because that means they're going to have an additional influx of dollars and an additional influx of interest. Now, keep in mind, as you're raising capital, it's important that you understand that there's an interest from the market. And if you have a group of people like Grok Project that is actively enthusiastic about a product, and you can point to that singular group and say, look how much impressions and engagement that this group has over the tool. Look what they're doing. Look how they're already taking this much further and beyond. They're willing to fight to pay money to use this. So they're begging for access. They're using VPNs to access it, right? I, I, I'm telling you this right now. That is of particular interest to venture capitalists who are going to be contributing money to the raise. So, pretty amazing, pretty outstanding. Hey, Jason, how's it going?
You figured I've not screwed this up yet. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I got you, man. We can hear you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to piggyback off Okta. We've talked about this over the last couple nights in our, just our TGV voice chat. That so many people who, probably, I'll comfortably speak for myself, but I probably suspect a lot of us, are Elon Maxis just since day one, regardless of what his macro views are. Um, and what she was saying about the con that she was in Las Vegas last month, where people were fading. Well, they're fading because their corporate sponsors will cut off funding, if they were to start, expressing interest and support of anything that Elon is behind. Back when Jack owned Twitter, I guarantee all of them were huge Tesla uh, and Elon fans. But since his purchasing of Twitter, now X, that's all changed. And the reason why I'm so passionate about that viewpoint is because I have followed a I'm not gonna give names, but a podcast, two young millennials, well, an older millennial and a younger millennial, just so I can get some youth views on things versus my Gen X or older views. I just want to know what the younger guys are talking about, and they were Elon fans, Tesla fans, etc. And it was back March, February, March. I don't think it was April. It may have been April. But they did a podcast that was specifically talking about the different AI models from the different AI companies, Gemini, ChatGPT specifically, um, and they went on to discuss how Elon was, saying what he was saying, i.e., calling them out, but they never once mentioned Grok as an AI platform or a competitor in the space, and they know about Grok and the AI. They use X. They're in the U.S. They've been a fan of Elon as long as I have. So when they didn't call them out, or rather, didn't call out ChatGPT and Gemini, and then didn't bring Grok into the conversation, that was really my aha moment. That there's such bigger players that are purposely suppressing the Elon narrative in any project he touches, because corporate sponsors, are afraid of his controversy, and they do not want the people that they're giving corporate sponsor dollars to discuss them in any positive light. And so I reached out to them both, and I said, "Hey guys, you know about Grok AI. Why didn't you mention them, or mention the platform, the space, the its utility, its functionality. It's built right into X that you see when you launch the app or the desktop application." No response. So that's when I knew that I should no longer feel guilty about my bias towards Elon, and Grok, the AI and the coin specifically, because they're not being bashful about their bias against it, even though they may support it. Hell, they may even be, Tesla stock owners. They may be Grok coin holders, but they can't talk about it because they have somebody bigger than them paying their bills, that they're afraid to lose. So, I just want people to know that, if you're in here, you're listening, you're afraid of speaking out about some stuff that you're paying attention to in the news, in various spaces, various topics on X. We don't like it either. But a few of us have chosen to speak up about it. And say that, and call it out for what it is, and it's crap. And don't be ashamed about your bias. If you have a bias towards Elon and what you're seeing him do, it's fine. Be quiet. That's fine. But know that we, Boisterous, Maniac, Nuke, Crypto, BG, Muffin Face, myself, Naris, Zach, our resident Grok cop, we're going to be boisterous for you, and this is only going to go up. Could it be a slower growth than those others, because they were under a different regime? You know, now people are a little afraid to touch something because of being canceled, etc. That's possible, but there's only one way for this project, the space, the Grok AI itself, the Grok token. There's only one way for it to go, and that is up. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir, Jason. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, definitely. Very important points to keep in mind in respect to the bias, the industry's bias against Elon. Anytime somebody says, um, they're pro free speech, they're pro humanity, and for some reason, it gets the eyes, ears, and attention of the World Economic Forum and everyone that supports that, and Klaus Schwab and George Soros and the rest of those people, and they're trying to shut that person and all of it down. And we saw what happened a couple months ago. Elon was on stage at the New York Times, and they were asking him about people pulling their ad campaign, really trying to kill the revenue of X. And he told them, go fuck yourself. That was, we've never seen that before. He said, I didn't stutter. Go fuck yourself. And he is someone again who at this point is motivated by a lot of different things. We know again he has a march to Mars, right? He wants to go take civilization to Mars, right? And we know X the Everything app is going to be a huge part of that. We know he's building robots, Optimus robots, to help, you know, uh, create civilization there before humans get there, that kind of thing. We know he's launching reusable rockets to help with a lot of the facilitation of all these things. We know that Grok is going to be the AI of Mars. What will be the currency, right? He had said that the currency of Earth would be Dogecoin. What would be the currency of Mars? How juicy could that be? Let's see. We got Lips Crypto wants to come up. Once you're connected, just go ahead and unmute, and you should be good.
Hello everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello everyone. I'm Vietnamese. My English is not really good, so I hope you guys can understand me. I just want to say few things. So 6 months with the Grok community is truly incredible for me. And I tell you at the beginning, I know about Grok narrative, and I think this Grok thing is related to Elon Musk, so I can jump in and make quick profit with it, and I did like 4x, and then I kept holding it. The price went down. Yeah, to be honest, I was really sad. But by the time price went down to 20 millions market cap, I could feel the spirit and the dedication of our moderators and community, and I truly fell in love with it. And then I decided that I have to do something to support this community by create means about growth to share the positive energy to everyone. um, Last thing I want to say, Vietnam community is small at the moment, but all of us strongly support growth community. And thank you, Nuke. Thank you all of our moderators and supporters and believers of growth. Thank you for letting me have the chance to speak. Okay, that's it. To the moon. Let's fucking grow.
Yeah, let's go. I love it. I love it. Fantastic. Um, yeah, man. It's usually when your your conviction and your strength and love towards something really only demonstrates and shows itself during challenging times, during the tough times. I always like to make analogies about certain things, but had a friend who he met his wife in like Australia while he was like on vacation on some type of music tour, and they liked each other or whatever, but he lives in the US, she lived in Australia. So what do? They were meeting in different parts of the world, right? They would meet up in Thailand, they would meet up in all these exotic places, Bali, all sorts of stuff. And relationship was absolutely fantastic. They're like, we love each other. Let's do it. They get married. Comes to the U.S. Now, what happens when you're not just on vacation anymore? What happens when you're dealing with the intricacies of the day to day and the hour to hour, just sitting on the couch together, just doing nothing? Who's cooking? Who's doing this? Right? Like at some point you're going to have those challenges. Now the question becomes, where is the love actually built? Is it built in the highs and the celebrations, or is it built during the challenging times or periods of stagnation? Right, and that's where you sort of develop conviction amongst something, because you get to see all of the hour to hour, day to day, and week to week parts. You get to see how people really are and respond to adversity. And this community, I became even more bullish on. I'll never forget the day we hit like 15 million. It was like January 31st or something. Actually, we were at 18, then February 1st, because there wasn't a new Grok update on February 1st. Some people sold, so fine. And I just remember being in voice chat in the TG, and there was like 100 of us in there, and we were just like, "The hell are we doing? Like, why are we? Why does it look like this? Let's fucking turn this ship around." And everybody became exponentially more bullish. And that's what, if you're new walking into Grok, I need you to understand that there's been so many people here who've been battle tested. This community is battle tested, right? So that's an important thing for someone who's looking for a new community to be a part of. It's like, what challenges have you been through? How have you navigated difficulties over time? You know, what is your sort of when you've seen successes, how have you behaved in those moments too? We've said it from the beginning. Our strategy needs to be we have to operate like we're a 100K market cap token grinding to become a 200K market cap token. We understand that we aren't at 100K market cap, and then when we get to 100 million and 200 million, we also have to act like we've been there before. If you're a new investor and you're going to buy into Grok and it's at 200 million, right? You don't want to see a bunch of people who are like, yes, I've finally have my financial freedom here, right? You don't feel convicted. You're like, nope, these guys, they act like this is something new to them, right? But no, not this community. We're not in it necessarily for the immediate price action. First of all, a lot of us understand how the market works, and we wouldn't be caught dead before the top of the bull cycle without holding some Grok. People have had 6 months now, 6 months to accumulate Grok underneath $100 million market cap. That is a gift to the space. That is a gift to the space. And the reality is, a win for Grok is a win for the space. You're able to tell people about meme coins. You're able to tell people about various narratives and show them Grok as a great example of what a community driven token could look like, what a good meme project can look like, right? I'm proud to tell people about DeFi and crypto when I show them Grok. I can't necessarily say that for the rest of the space for 98% of it. A lot of us have Deegan in us. There's some degeneracy, right? We love it, but when you're trying to onboard new people and they're saying meme coins are supposed to be the vehicle that onboards more people this cycle than any other, it's hard to sell and pitch some of these narratives, right? So people thought, oh, well, a lot of normies have been onboarded. No, they haven't. Even McFly, he was saying that he was just up here, you know, yeah, he's not a crypto guy, but he's a trader, right? He does stocks, he does forex, that kind of stuff, and so he understands markets and he understands sentiments, and he's been in some of these channels and stuff like that already. So that's the first phase. That's how you know that we're moving into a good market cycle is when traders are coming in and they're seeing volume, they're seeing a change in pace of liquidity. The next bit is the old people who have been sidelined, they start to trickle back in. They don't understand the space. They're looking for narratives. And then, of course, when you have mass adoption, is when you start to see another zero point 0.5 to 1% of the population coming in. This cycle is going to be a lot different. We have corporate dollars and corporate interest in it. So now you're going to be seeing the most ridiculous things that you've ever seen. You're going to be seeing banks trying to peddle, some coins. You're going to see them trying to get you to open up accounts and all sorts of stuff, financial advisors. So, just make sure you protect yourself, because once you start to see some of those advertisements and everything else, we know sort of what's happening there. So just keep that in mind. But all good points, a lot of great things. It's been 6 months, almost impossible to condense, an entire, existence so far, into one spaces, and to do it so concisely and the things that matter. But, I think we've covered a lot here today, and I'm just really grateful for the participation of this entire group, for everyone who continues to still show up and show out every day. I know how exhausting it is. I know a lot of you guys sometimes are on vacations and you're still tweeting away, you're still joining voice chats. Some of you guys have kids crawling on top of you right now. Some of you are at work and you got your headphone in your ear. Some of you have upset a lot of people in your family, and in your close circles, because you've dedicated a lot of time to this. But the way I look at it is, it's been 6 months, and yeah, it's been, it in the beginning it felt like an eternity. Like 1 month felt like a year, But as Good Karma was saying just now, Cryptomaniac, you know, the past few weeks and months, like it just sort of just snapped and blinked and went away that fast. And, crypto, it's definitely a faster market than others, and there's a lot of opportunity to have upside gain here. But sometimes you get exhausted and it beats you up. And so your ability, your fortitude will be tested. But what is 6 months in the thick of a year? What is a year in the thick of a decade? So you got to think about those things, like what is the effort you're putting in here, in the thick of a lifetime, and to have those freedoms that we're looking for, that we can achieve in crypto. You can't get shaken out. As Octa was saying, don't leave the story in the middle. Continue to reaffirm your convictions and sort of what you hold, and know what you hold. Continue to build networks, continue to build out your skill sets, right, and advance yourself. And just be a defender of DeFi. We need more champions of DeFi, right? If you want further adoption, if you want your bags to go up, you need to be in defense of DeFi. It's not just a quick flip in the crypto space. Let me get my money and give it back to the banks, right? This is a matter of, do you support what Satoshi was originally speaking about? Do you care about sort of transacting peer to peer? Do you care about being your own bank? Do you understand, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth parties that exist in between transactions might not actually need to occur? Do you understand that governments understand that and they want that tech? They want ownership over your coins and tokens, right? They want to be the ones at the helm. Just be a champion of DeFi, continue to put what you can into Grok. And I think, Grok will be one of the tokens from this cycle that is not only around next cycle, but that is thriving. Um, Grok is future proofed. This is not something that's owned by X. It's owned by XAI, which is privately held by Elon. So that's also something that is very significant. While X will be the everything app and a lot can happen there, when yes, he privately owns that as well, but he's not the majority owner, as far as we understand. There were some other banks that helped with the acquisition, that kind of stuff. So it's good that the tool in of itself is future proofed beyond its integration into X. So, all right, covered it all. Go ahead, Maniac. I was about to ask you if you had anything to throw in there.
Yeah, I just wanted to add and piggyback off of what you were just saying. I mean, Elon just put out a statement through Watch a Guru that he says that the dollar would be worth nothing if the U.S. doesn't do something about its national debt. So, I mean, when you look at the whole macro, I mean, you gotta, it's basically telling you find something to hedge your money in, right? You got gold, silver, precious metals. Some even mentioned like artwork and shit like that, and we got crypto. We in crypto. We chose crypto to be our asset class. So it's like, like you said, it's more than a profit, more than a quick gain and a flip. When you look at the whole meaning of what money is, and if one currency is going to shit, you got to start looking at like what's going to be the new money, what's going to be the new currency. So it's like, you know, you always got to have a overview, and that's the beauty of being in this space right now at this particular time. People should consider themselves lucky, because I think we in the best asset class, out of all of them. Not to diminish what gold and precious metals is going to do. They're going to rise in value as well. But I just think digital assets value is going to rise the greatest. So, yeah, I mean, everything is correlated. So that's why you have to pay attention to everything. And you see the massive FUD attacks, how they coming at the market, how they trying to, and it happens every bull cycle. You know, I think somebody mentioned it was last cycle. It was China. It was a China FUD. Now you got Russia. They got their FUD on Bitcoin. So it's like, you can't listen to these crypto Twitter people and these YouTuber and all these maxis, talk shit and try to fudge you out this space. You got to believe in this space, believe in what you hold, and just handle it like that. And I think people will come out on top after all the smoke clear, because it's some real serious shit going on, especially here in the U.S. and geopolitically as well. You got the BRICS nations. You got, everybody, every nation starting to stand up and de-dollarize. That's making a big statement, over a world reserve currency that's been in power for the last 80 to 100 years. I mean, you go back in world history, nations don't last forever. At some point they have a rise and at some point they have a fall. So it's like you want to hedge yourself and put yourself in the best asset class that you think is, available, that's there for you. That's how I see the crypto space and the blessing that I see it in. So, I can't make people see things the way I see it. So it's really up to the individual to study and decide for themselves, what, you know, they feel like the new money or the new currency can be, because That's the time period that we in right now. All this high inflation, it's not going to go away. It's not going to go. I don't care what Powell says. It's never going to go back to the 2% that he think is going to go back to. It's going to keep rising. The price of everything is going to keep rising, and at some point we're going to go into a period of hyperinflation. And that's going to cause more deterioration of the banking system. The banks, we just had one bank already collapse. What last weekend? We already are aware of the three banks that collapsed last year. So that's going to start ramping up when more banks is going to start to collapse. So it's like, it. I mean, people come in this space and you buy a meme, we have fun and we make profits, but at the same time, it's a serious side to it too, because you want to make those profits and you got to decide where you're going to put those profits. You're going to self custody and keep it for yourself, or you're going to send it back to the same crooked banks that's been scamming us for fucking years. So it's a lot of decisions that people got to make and decide for themselves and realize the type of space that we've been blessed to be a part of. Satoshi, was a fucking genius for creating this. So, you know, uh, I just like to stay in that honor of that in the name of DeFi, and hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna be too long winded. So again, I like to congratulate everybody that made it through. If you held the whole 6 months, congratulations. Or even if you sold and bought back in or whatever, congratulations. I mean, because that means you recognize a project like Grok for what it is. You know, um, so besides Grok, you got to recognize the space that we in as well. So, with that being said, I'm gonna turn it back over. Thanks a lot to everybody. All right.
Well said, man. That in defense of DeFi, much appreciated. You know, that print function, that print function with the treasury guys, unlimited supply. We are already in a period of pre-hyperinflation where the U.S. dollar is worth 75 cents to the dollar from what it was in January 2020. So just keep in mind that also the purchasing power of the dollar has steadily declined since 1971, since the depegged from gold. They are trying to slap a 25% unrealized gains tax on American citizens for crypto. This is all because they know something is happening there. Now we're seeing the mobilization of efforts behind central bank digital currencies as well. We're seeing the importation of a working class into the United States and to other westernized countries in Europe. There's a lot that's going on. We don't have all the answers. You can only just, do things to protect yourself, as Maniac was saying. Mitch, what's going on? Let's hear from you.
Hey, yo, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm amazed by the quality of the memes that are generated by our community. Every time I think, well, this is the maximum. You can't do any better memes than this one, and every time it gets surpassed. So congrats to everybody who does these memes and have these imaginations and ideas out of this world. And also, I always compare the X platform and the way that Elon uh, manages it as if it's his own token, it's his own coin, because like he bought it, people are footing it. He's always working for his bag. He's always posting. He's the dev. He's listening to the community. He wakes up at random hours, keeps on posting and posting. Because they said that his company was worth half the price that he purchased it. So even if it's going down and it's tiring him, and he's always fighting against these further, but he's posting and he's posting and he's not giving up, and he's doing the exact same thing as we're doing with Grok. Sometimes we have our ups and downs, and he's running it like a dev, running a crypto community.
Exactly, man. They definitely have been trying to fud him in his acquisition of X, but obviously he knows how to get people to buy in. It's also completely erroneous to say that someone takes over a company and that it's instantly going to be worth two times the valuation of what they bought it for. That's not how it works. It's the reason why sometimes these companies have to sell in the first place. We all know the jokes around Twitter, all the employees that were fucking, making videos about my day in the life as a Twitter employee, and they did nothing, that's the person that they're trying to take down right now, and they're going to do everything they can to attack. We were bit. Uh, like Elon Maxey's, as Jason was saying before. But that's only because he's been in support of the things that we are in support of. You can't vote against your own self interest. Just keep that in mind with everything, right? Like, of course, we want to help people and things like that, but you can't help people until you help yourselves. If you're on a plane, they tell you if the oxygen mask come down, make sure you take care of yourself first, and you take care of the kid or child next to you, whatever else. Make sure you are looking out for yourself, whether it's in crypto or in the real world. I don't mean to be a selfish person, but I mean to literally look out for yourself, because if you don't, you can't help anyone, and then you're going to be the one looking for help. So, we are in support of the people who are in support of this space and in support of humanity. And I will never vote against humanity. And I love decentralization and transparency, and that's what this space offers, and the things we talk about in the Grok community. If you are new to Grok and to Grok Spaces and into Grok Project, feel free to join us. We have a Telegram. Um, feel free to, just engage with the community here on X. We love to hear from new people, have conversations, further the meme game, as Mitch was just saying. It's quality, top quality memes, guys. On the pure meme token front, I mean, this is just top notch stuff that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see it every day. So good work from everyone here. What a tremendous, tremendous, tremendous 6 month Grokiversary spaces. We are not done. We are just getting started. We're going to be hitting X super hard today, guys. We need you all to hit X and Elon and the rest of the folks here. And again, is it really the 6 month anniversary? Look, from the point of which he announced it, it's about 6 months, right? He announced November 3rd on a Friday. It's May 3rd on a Friday. 6 months, right? So it's a 6 month anniversary of the announcement of Grok. Okay, so let's just put that out there, and that's what we're leaning into. It's been a half a year. We've been here for 6 months. It's worth noting, not just Grok, but also Grok Project, our token, literally 6 months. We know this. So, we're about 9 hours away from our launch time, 9.5 hours away from our launch time, and the actual announcement that Elon did. So, make sure you're hitting all of the sources very loud today and be proud. We're going to hit it hard this weekend, and a lot more to come next week. So, on that note, thank you all. Happy Grokiversary. Throw up some hearts, throw up some hundreds. Grok life, Grok nation, Grok is contagious. Love you all.